This week is part 2 of our Greatest Hits series. 16 years ago, we started doing weekly videos, and we now have over 600 videos on our website. And it always surprises us which videos become the most popular and some of the very unexpected responses we get from people.
So be sure to look at last week's video so you can catch up on what the 5th, 4th, and 3rd most popular videos were. But this week is the second one and the first one. So the second one that really surprises us about...
Or actually, it's probably easier to say number 2 on our Greatest Hit Parade.
is titled Kathy's Restoration Project. And this was done in 2012. And there's over 24,000 different views.
Yes, but you better explain what you did.
So what this was I had picked up a chair at the side of the road, and our daughter needed furniture for her first apartment. And I decided that I would restore the chair. And as I was doing the restoration on this chair, God began talking to me and giving me an application for the or for how God likes to renovate our own lives. And so it was quite interesting.
It was a perfect inner healing heart change analogy with the chair.
But what caught us were some of the comments that came back from this.
Well, some people gave it the thumbs down. Like they didn't like it because they had Googled how to do reupholstering. And they came to Kathy's video thinking they were getting a reupholstering lesson. And some said, and it turned out to be religious. So that was the first negative.
Then the other thing was, because I'm married to a man who was handicapped in the area of projects.
Yeah, I can type really well.
At one point, just as kind of an aside, and he actually told me to say this, I commented how useless he was.
Because you needed help putting the armrest together.
Yeah, I had broken part of the chair and I needed help fixing it. And so Grant, when we were working through the script of this, he says, say that I'm useless. So I did.
But you had to get help from a neighbor.
I did. Well, the comments that we got about how I should never talk about my husband like that. And
yes, you were dishonoring your husband.
My husband told me to say that about him, so...
Yeah, so you didn't put that in the comments.
No, we didn't say that, but that was quite a surprise.
Yeah,
so
there was a lot of negative reaction to that video.
But it's actually a really good video about how God wants to work on our hearts, and sometimes it takes twists and turns, and sometimes we have to get outside help like counselors. But we are constantly in a restoration project. We are one of Jesus's restoration projects as he makes us more like him.
Yes, and you'll see how Kathy wore her hair in 2012.
If you want more of these videos, be sure to subscribe to our weekly video or the YouTube channel.
Yeah, but number 1 was How to Hear God's Voice from 2011, and it has now passed 62,000 views. And that's because so many people want to know how to hear God's voice.
It's a really interesting video because this is one of our very first, and Grant was really experimenting with creativity. And there's a lot of little different things in there which we haven't been doing lately.
Sound effects. Yes, there are special effects and sound effects. And I had hair back then. So yeah. Yes, it's really quite a visit into the dark past. But it's actually, we went back and watched it again. It's actually really good because God wants to have a two-way conversation with us. He doesn't want prayer to just be us presenting our shopping list. And so it's wonderful that it helps you understand how to listen and how to discern the thoughts that come into your mind. Are they from God, or are they yours, or are they from the enemy? And so there will be links to these 2 videos and the ones from last week below this video. But also too, if you want to go through personal renovation and restoration, or if you want to learn how to hear God's voice, we have an online program called Free Your Mind, and it'll walk you through personal transformation, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally in an online self-study program. So there'll be links to that below this video. So we'll talk to you next week.
We thought you'd really enjoy this. We had fun reviewing these things.
Also, too, if you're having any problems with insomnia, we have 600 videos that you could just start watching at bedtime, and you will go to sleep. Certainly, because I'm an anesthetist, I understand sleep. So we'll talk to you next week. Bye.